The Lord will be your champion, and you shall hold your peace. Exodus 14:14. There are moments when everything falls apart. When words lose their meaning, prayers ring out into the void, and your heart beats like a drum before a storm. You look ahead and see only the sea. Behind you is an enemy army. Inside is fear. Outside is hopelessness. You are like Israel at the Red Sea, surrounded by circumstances, cornered by fears, pressed by reality. But then God's voice sounds, "I will fight for you." This is not your battle, not your war, not your victory. This is mine. And there is only one thing you can do: shut up. Silence is not always defeat. Sometimes it is a form of faith. Silence is when you want to scream, but you choose to trust. Silence is when you could blame, but you forgive. Silence is when you cannot see the way, but you keep going. In this silence, holy stillness is born. Where you lay down your weapons, God picks up his. Commit your way to the Lord, trust in him, and he will perform it. Psalm 36:5. Your struggle is bigger than you. Your fears are bigger than logic. But your God is bigger than all of that. He is for you. He is before you. He is between you and trouble. We are used to fighting, to defend, to argue, to pray as if everything depends on us. But faith is not in shouting. Faith is in peace. Christ slept in a boat when the storm raged. He knew that the storm was not stronger than the one who made it. Jesus said, "Do not be afraid, only believe." Mark 5:36. These words are a shield in the darkness, a beacon in the waves. Your heart may tremble, but do not give up. You are not alone. Sometimes God does not take away the storm. He gives you refuge in him. He doesn't always speak loudly. Sometimes he whispers. Sometimes he speaks quietly. But even God's silence is powerful if you trust. Many are the afflictions of the righteous, but the Lord delivers him out of them all. Psalm 33:20. Look back. How many storms have you survived? How many times did you think it was the end? But God opened a new way. He hasn't changed. And now he's still here. You're standing on the edge. Everything around you is pressing. Everything inside is screaming. But you're not alone. Like Moses, you can look up and say to the people and yourself, "Stand still. The Lord will be your champion." Peace is not the absence of battle. It's knowing who is winning. God is fighting for you, in the unseen, in the hearts of others, in circumstances you can't control, in things you can't even see. He is making a way where there is none. He will be like a shadow from the heat, like a hiding place from the storm, like a brook in a dry land. Isaiah 32 verse 2. Allow yourself to be weak. Allow God to be strong. You don't have to know everything. You don't have to decide everything. Your strength is not in control, it's in trust. When you are silent and he acts, that is a miracle. God is a refuge and strength, a very present help in trouble. Therefore we will not fear, though the earth tremble. Psalm 45, 2-3. Become quiet. Stop the inner storm. Let confidence into your heart. You are not alone. You are not forgotten. You are not defeated. You are not left without protection. You are in his hands. Humble yourselves under the mighty hand of God, that he may exalt you in due time. 1 Peter 5:6. You don't have to be great. You need a great God, and he is near. Your prayer may be a whisper. Your faith may be tiny, but God is great. He sees what you can't. He does what you can't. Sometimes to win, you have to surrender. Surrender into his arms. Calm down. Let go. And then peace will come. Sometimes the greatest prayer is silence with a trembling heart. When you can't find the words, but just stand before God and breathe. In that breath is trust. In that silence is faith that is deeper than any scream. There may be a storm raging inside you, but when you surrender your battle to the Lord, a new order comes. The storm remains, but outside of you. Your soul becomes a quiet haven. God speaks through silence. He works in secret. What you do now you do not understand, but you will understand later. John 13:7. Sometimes all that is required of you is to stay. Stay in peace. Stay in faith. Stay without even understanding. You would like to fight, to defend yourself, to explain yourself, but the Lord whispers, "Leave this to me." When you trust God with your name, your truth, your battle, you are no longer a slave to fear. You become free. Do not avenge yourselves, beloved, but leave room for the wrath of God. Romans 12:19. There are battles that God takes upon himself because he loves, because he knows how much it hurts, and because he is justice. Peace is not the absence of pain. It is knowing that pain will not win. It is the conviction that God will hold your heart even when the world is falling. You don't have to answer to your enemies. You don't have to explain your pain to the world. God knows what you've been through, and if you trust him, he will fight for you, for your honor, for your future. The Lord is my strength and my shield. My heart trusts in him, and he helps me. Psalm 27:7. Believe, even when all is dark, he hasn't gone away. He is just working in the shadows. He who holds the stars holds you. He knows how to part the waters. He knows how to calm the storm. He knows how to set the captive free. All you have to do is be in his silence. You are not a mistake, not an oblivion, not a failure. You are his, and that means the fight will end in victory, even if you don't see it yet. Sometimes God takes you through the darkness so that you will see that the light is not external, but internal. He fights not only with the enemies outside, but also with what destroys you from within: fear, guilt, shame. You don't have to fight for God's love. It is already given. You don't have to win his attention. You are always in the center of his gaze. Sometimes you are silent, and it seems that heaven is silent too. But this is not the silence of inaction. This is the silence of preparation. God is already moving, already acting, already coming to meet you. I will never leave you nor forsake you. Hebrews 13:5. This covenant does not depend on feelings. This promise is stronger than your fear, and in it is your confidence. So be silent, not because you are broken, but because you are confident. God is fighting for you, and that means you are already protected, and that means there will be peace, there will be dawn, there will be a way out. You don't have to figure it all out. Sometimes faith is the ability to walk without knowing the way. It's peace in the heart despite the storm. It's a whisper. I don't understand, but I know God is near. When you can't change anything, when your hands are down, when hope is cracking, the sky whispers, I'm fighting for you. This is not the end. This is the pause before the miracle. Sometimes God gives silence so that the present can sound in it, so that you can hear not the noise of the world, but the voice of his love. In the darkest valleys, the Lord becomes the light. In the longest waits, a faithful companion. In the hardest battles, your shield. So do not worry, saying, what shall we eat? Or what shall we drink? Or what shall we wear? Matthew 6:31. Peace comes when you give him everything. Not only fear, but control too. You don't have to be a hero. It is enough to be a child in his arms. He is a father who knows how to fight for his own. When you are silent, you admit, I am not God, but I believe in God. This is an act of humility, and in this humility is strength. You are not alone. Angels encamp around those who fear the Lord. Psalm 34:8. You are surrounded, guarded, protected. The enemy may roar, but he has no power. Fear may whisper, but he does not win. God fights for you. He is your rock. I cried to the Lord and he heard me. Psalm 1191. Even your silent groan is a cry that reaches heaven. Peace is not passivity. It is a deep confidence that victory is already assured, because it does not depend on you. You may be misunderstood, abandoned, offended, but God remains faithful, and in his faithfulness, he lifts you up even from the dust. Sometimes to see the hand of God, you have to let go of everything else. Quiet your heart and give him room to act. You may get tired, you may fall, but the Lord does not get tired. He does not sleep. He does not forget. He goes before. And if you can do nothing else, just stay. Be still and let him be your advocate. Because he fights, he wins, and he will not back down.